you believe this weather? So in today's episode I fly from Aero Friedrichshafen to a German airfield with some humongous chimneys in its traffic circuit.
We don't want to be too low, do we?
We meet a couple who've flown around the world in their Mooney.
We always dreamed about flying around the world. We accomplished this. We are done. We are happy.
And then we have a bit of a fight with the new European border systems.
Houston, we have a problem.
Before finally being allowed to fly back to the UK.
So we're just making our way out of Aero Friedrichshafen. We're in the business aviation area with all the big, very, very expensive jets. Ian and I are heading towards the slightly cheaper end of the scale for our PA-28 parked on the grass. Going to jump in India Victor, and we've got an hour's flight to the northwest of here in Mannheim. So that's where we're heading next.
Clear left, clear right.
And Golf India Victor, after departure, early right time would be appreciated.
Roger, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor.
Okay.
Power set, T's and P's are in the green. Speed's increasing, 60 knots we want. And we'll rotate, we're coming up. So we're on our way to, what's it called again? Mannheim. I mean, it's a lovely VFR day. You enjoy Friedrichshafen?
I did, loved it. Learned a lot actually. The GA community is very, very large in Europe. So have you learnt any German in the so far?
Not really. Ouch fart.
Gunter?
Langham radar, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, flight level 70.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, Langham radar, identified, squawk 2574.
Squawk 2574, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor. Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, confirmed transit.
Hello, Bravo Mike India Victor, crossing Cape West Delta approved, our navigation, maintain flight level 70.
A reason for going to Mannheim is I'm going to meet up, you know I'm doing the Atlantic of course, later this month, next month.
Bravo Mike India Victor, you entered airspace Delta.
Roger, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor. Yeah, I came across a couple who flew around the world in their Mooney, which is quite a feat actually.
Lessons to learn from all people.
Yeah, even at dinner last night we were chatting to people who've done it before. Somebody at breakfast this morning I was talking to who's done it before. Everyone's got their story.
And an opinion?
An opinion and tips. So we'll meet Tina and Gunter, who are a German couple. We'll meet them when we land at Mannheim, and they'll tell us their story.
I heard about Tina and Gunter's adventures through their YouTube channel, which is named after their aircraft November 228 Romeo Mike, a Mooney M20K Encore.
This is the story of a journey that took us from Mannheim to Mannheim. And it wasn't exactly a local flight.
This time last year, they set off eastwards from Mannheim in Germany on a 3.5-month mission to circle the globe, leaving Europe for the Middle East, Asia, the North Pacific and United States before their homeward legs across the North Atlantic.
Hello, November 228 Romeo Mike, ILS 23.
They're based at Mannheim and I've arranged to meet up with them because it's on my way home from Friedrichshafen. But first I have to pick my way around the obstacles south of the airport, just at the edge of the traffic circuit.
We don't want to be too low, do we?
Not here, not with these towers.
Brakes, undercarriage is down 3 greens, mixture's fully rich, engine temperatures and pressures are in the green, direction indicator is aligned, and altimeter 1020. 300 feet elevation, nothing downwind that I can see. There's no tower down there, is there?
No. You'll find there's one underneath the nose, but you're clear of it, well clear of it, because these are 1,000 feet. So they're 1,000 foot below us at the moment.
Golf India Victor, join traffic circuit 27.
Left circuit 27, Golf India Victor.
Those are tall bloody things, aren't they?
Der Kilo Sierra, jetzt habe ich Sie auf dem Radar 2600 Fuß angezeigt.
Der Kilo Sierra, das ist korrekt.
Golf India Victor, left hand downwind, runway 27.
Golf India Victor, Roger, continue approach.
Continue approach, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor.
Golf India Victor, wind 360 degrees 8 knots, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 27, Golf India Victor.
Delta Tango Charlie, verlassen das Frequenz genehmigt, Sekundenflug, bis später.
So we've got 4 whites at the moment. We are full flat. So I'll just put a bit of a slip, which will get us down to the slope.
Understandvergaß November ist auch abflugbereit. Piste 27 Grad,
good.
Stand Abschleppstrecke. Ich rufe gleich zurück.
Kylosierer über Kilo in 2300 Fuß.
Der Kylosierer setzt den Anflug fort.
Der Kylosierer setzt den Anflug fort.
Golf India Victor, taxi to the apron via Charlie Delta Alpha, hold short of runway 27.
Charlie Delta Alpha, hold short, runway 27, Golf India Victor. It was sporty, wasn't it?
It was. And bloody tall built. Towers around.
Yeah.
John had only one job to do, to get the nose on the taxi line. And he failed.
The blade is no further than the line.
I will agree the blade is. But the cross is for the nose wheel.
Mannheim has a modern airport, but the city boasts an impressive history. It's supposedly where the bicycle was invented in 1817 and where Carl Benz drove the first automobile in 1886. It's also the base for Tina and Gunter and their beloved Mooney that's clocked up some impressive mileage. Well, congratulations on your trip. I guess you're now thinking about where next.
Everyone is asking this question. It was really such a lot in these 2 years. And also we always dreamed about flying around the world, and this is sort of we accomplished this and we are done. We are happy. We are really happy with this, and we don't feel that we have to do it again or that there is something we need to do now. We always were happy flying around in Europe, and we are not thinking about a next big thing right now. This can always change, but right now we are happy.
Tell me about both of you then. You're both pilots,
yes.
Both qualified
Yes,
pilots. So tell me your stories, your flying story.
We are a couple since ever, 30 years, and we always went for travel. We always were travelers, and we also were always looking for adventure and seeing new things. So we were backpackers when we were young. We got a little older, like in the end of our 30s. It was a conscious decision. We thought about we will not climb up 6,000 meters with 50 years of age. It will not work anymore. So we might need something new where we can live our passion, which is travel and adventure, and still we have more money now than we had with 20, and we can maybe flying. And this was really, we thought about this, and then we tried it, and he started first lesson with the DA40 four-seater. I sat in the back, and we really checked it out. Could this be our future thing? And from the start we thought this.
Yeah, we were hooked from the beginning.
Estimate time arrival, Balikpapan, time 0446, November 28, Romeo Mike.
In their flights together that they share on YouTube, Tina is usually seen in the right seat communicating with ATC, while Gunter is the pilot flying. And what I noticed in many of their uploads is that Gunter says very little. So I've been watching your videos and I've just seen your most recent one as well. And I suddenly realised today, Gunter, you have a voice. Because you don't say anything in any of the videos.
I say gear up or speed is alive or something like that. But the rest, she always edits out.
And if you listen carefully in the last video, in Japan we flew to Sendai and we asked for a visual approach runway 12. It was good in terms of wind, and we could just do a long final basically.
But it wasn't granted.
And it wasn't granted, and they said we had to fly due to traffic. We had to fly ILS 27, and he says, and I didn't cut it out. He does.
Request visual approach runway 12.
November 28 Romeo Mike, due to traffic flow, expect ILS 0, runway 27 approach.
You will know, as my viewers will know, I'm less than a month from now, I'm going to be crossing the Atlantic, pretty much the same route that you did backwards, I think. First up, what advice would you give me?
Yeah, I would recommend enjoy it, because it never feels like the first crossing. The first crossing is so special. We have crossed the Atlantic 5 times now, but it's I still can remember the first time, and it never felt like it felt the first time.
And this would be my recommendation, by the way, for you. Take your time. Don't rush it. If weather is only a little bit, don't go. Just wait. You are not a ferry pilot. You don't need money for time, whatever. Just take it slowly, and then you can put down the risk a lot. That's at least our experience.
For the Atlantic, what were your weather rules? did you sort of say to yourself, unless it's all clear, cav okay?
No. I think it would take a really long time if you if you wanted to do that. But we always tried to keep it on the safe side. So on our first crossing,
we do IFR, of course, but what is a no-go for us is icing without a way to get out. So this is something where we are very sensitive about.
You see, I'm flying in May. And it will still be very cold. I don't know when you've done your crossings.
The first crossing was in April.
Right.
And
it was really cold.
That was really cold.
How did you manage that then? Because quite often, I mean, I'm looking at it and I think the freezing level will be at sea level or below quite often, or not?
It wasn't in our case. No, it was not that high, but we always had an out because except for Greenland, you're flying over the sea, obviously, so you can descend to a few thousand feet if you really need to.
And it also depends on the range, because if you have to descend and fly really low, you are not as efficient, so you have to calculate if this is still possible to have a longer than planned phase with a low level flight.
My upcoming North Atlantic crossing is going to be child's play compared with the round-the-world flight that Tina and Gunter undertook last year. Their routes took them through places where getting permits and clearances can be hard going, and even when you've ticked all the boxes and you're en route, your permissions seemingly can be withdrawn in an instant, as was the case when the couple were close to entering Indian airspace.
Number 228 Romeo Mike, received message from Bombay. We're not allowed to fly in their airspace.
We'll find out what happened next in a moment, but if you're planning international flights like this, it pays to be a member of AOPA. If you land yourself in any hot water or issues, they're an organisation that you can go to for advice and assistance. AOPA is an independent membership organisation that advocates for pilots, aircraft owners, airfields and flight schools. They offer discounts with ForeFlight, Jeppesen, Safe Sky, Signature and Sixt car rental. Above all though, by being a member, you're contributing to a more resilient and healthy GA. AOPA keeps across all regulatory developments, has a hotline to those at the top of the CAA, so to speak, to raise issues and give GA pilots a voice. Perhaps you're concerned about airspace, the cost of flying, medical regulation, or the closure of aerodromes. AOPA is working behind the scenes on these and many other issues that affect us day to day. Become an AOPA UK member today. Get 25% off your subscription by using my special link that's on the screen and in the video description.
November 228 Romeo Mike, we have a valid flight plan and a permit for India.
I know you have a valid flight plan and you might have an approval, but this is the message I received. It's up to you.
We briefly discussed our options and decided to carry on.
I was stressed watching it. Goodness only knows how you felt when you were told that.
It was such a stress, really.
Yeah, it was.
We have to continue for operational reasons, Romeo Mike.
Okay, try to contact them 565-866-661-8879.
Negative HF.
November 228 Romeo Mike, we have negative HF, but we have a satellite phone, so if they have a telephone number.
There was no reply on this, and we continued, nervous about what might happen. A few minutes later, an airliner contacted us on 1215.
Okay, November 228 Romeo 5 Mike, we are transmitting for you from Mumbai. They ask you to proceed right direct to Ancock, Alpha November Kilo Oscar X-ray. Your routing is not available per NOTAM.
Okay.
Did you have many occasions like that?
No. Actually, the round the world was really plain sailing. We were lucky with the weather. We had no technical issue at all.
This India thing was the only.
India thing was the only real problem we had.
How do you deal with that? Because I thought about it and I thought of myself in that situation. I mean, I wasn't aware watching the video, where you were and what choices that gave you, but nonetheless. It shows you that you have to be in command of the situation and not and not be pressurized into a situation that puts you in a bad place.
You don't see all in the video because there was a little discussion between us in German in what we should do, but it was relatively short and we agreed that we would try to say no, we can't. And
actually, we could have turned around.
It would have been no problem.
We had lots of fuel, but what we had lots of tailwind, so we would just say it's not possible due to operational reasons because we are beyond the point of no return, which we could have done it, but we also learned from others that it's sometimes really helpful to just say
no, I won't do that.
But due to, and then to do it, and we were really nervous, to be honest. We did this, and because we didn't want to finish the trip already on stage 3, like this was, of course we didn't.
Of course, we had all sorts of nightmares. What would happen when we finally reach India?
India, you know.
And they are, it's not the easiest country for general aviation. But in the end, it was funny, but because nothing happened at all. No question were asked.
Well, look, it's been great chatting to you. Lovely to meet you both. Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Well, it would be great to stay in touch.
Yeah.
And if you're happy for me to ring you in a moment of crisis and say
sure,
what would Gunter and Tina do in this situation?
Anytime.
Anytime.
Great to meet you both. Thank you so much for the conversation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I thoroughly recommend watching Tina and Gunter's channel. They're releasing videos from their Around the World flight last year, and it is gripping. The link should have popped up for you. If it hasn't, you'll find it in the video description. As we've seen there, the flying is often the easy bit. It's dealing with the authorities and their rules and quirks that causes problems. And Ian and I weren't immune from a dose of these problems ourselves when we tried to fly home to the UK. Houston, we have a problem. Ian and I are in Mannheim, and the border police have turned up to allow us to leave Schengen. And because they don't have a password for the scanning system, they can't take our fingerprints or photographs.
Yeah.
And they're now trying to find somebody who's apparently on a train somewhere to come here and
was on a train station, I think.
On a train station to come and take our details so we can leave. So we're slight delay. I need to delay the flight plan, but hopefully very soon we will be heading off back to the United Kingdom. So watch this space. Update coming shortly.
I will just say that he's a really big fan, and I know you as well.
His head's getting big.
We passed the time chatting to one of my European followers who just so happened to fly in while we waited for the border police to get their act together.
Okay, so we're an hour behind. They gave up. Some chief inspector was called in Stuttgart, and eventually they said we could go. They stamped our passports. The password, they got the password, but then the machine wouldn't work. Didn't take my fingerprints. Didn't take my photo.
Didn't take anything.
It's just, and the poor border force are just at a loss. They're just saying it's crazy. I think technically they call that teething trouble, but it seems to be across the board, doesn't it? All the airports in Europe have got the same sort of problem. So quite a mess. But anyway, let's jump in India Victor now and head off back to Red Hill, and thankfully the weather's not the problem today.
Manneim Tower, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, parked on the main apron, stand 1, request IFR clearance to Echo Golf Kilo Romeo.
The departure from Mannheim was quite interesting actually. It was an IFR standard instrument departure, which means you have to follow a series of turns and climbs, and there was a specific climb gradient that I had to meet, which involved me pretty much flying out at best angle of climb for quite some time. It was quite difficult understanding the clearance with the German accent from the controller. Don't get me wrong, their English was utterly brilliant, but I do sometimes find just a slight accent change is enough for me to struggle with it. And then before departure, I accidentally deleted a waypoint from the navigator, and that's me doing it right there, which then later on after departure completely confused me when I was following the standard instrument departure on the chart and the navigator wasn't doing what I was expecting.
I don't think that's right, because it was after Olivie. That's going to FM 053.
I know, that's why Olivie's the direct, isn't it?
At least I had been monitoring the progress and cross-referencing the chart, so I spotted the waypoint had gone before it was too late.
Can we put in Cossacks, please?
Inserts
before. KOSAX. There it is. There you go.
The joys of having cameras in the cockpit, of course, enabling me to debrief and learn from this whole scenario. I've released that whole segment as a bonus video. It's available to watch now on my members club. You can sign up to debrief that with me over on Patreon. Otherwise, the rest of the flight was straightforward. The weather was amazing, and I landed back at Red Hill just about 90 minutes or so behind schedule. Okay, this is your last chance to win a new Lightspeed Zulu 4 headset. The draw for the charity raffle in aid of Airability closes at the end of this month. Tickets are just £10 and we'll pick the winner on the 1st of July. There are other great prizes too, such as a Harvard experience, a tiger moth lesson, a flight with me, or a hot air balloon ride. Go to my website for the full details. Coming in just 2 weeks, the first in my series covering my own Atlantic crossing. Find out if the trip has been successful or not by subscribing to my channel or signing up for my free newsletter. I'll see you in a fortnight. Fly safely, my friends.